My boots starting to dry out now. All that water and mud are sunk into when I slip off the rock. And that big puddle next to the wall. That's that kind of nettle that I grabbed back there. These ones here with the purple flowers on. So where that tree is at the top there on the ridge, that's where the road goes along and it does an S-bend and continues along the top there. I'm just looking back there and it looks like I can see sun shining off the roof of a vehicle, be a farmer's vehicle, on the road that you come along from Gunnerside, on that side. Oh, it's getting hot now, like. Whew. I think I'll be scooping some water and washing my forehead and that. Get the sweat off. It's cool off as well. Obviously, because I'm getting older and I'm not walking around as much as I used to, these hikes are going to get harder and harder and harder, where I'll have to just do short hikes, not long ones. Like a short one, like one of my favourites is when I go down to Yorkshire, is it? To do the waterfalls. Yeah, can't think of it now. You park up at the church and then you walk along a short distance. Then you've got one waterfall after another. Mill Gill, that's it. Mill Gill Force and what's the other one? My memory's not serving as well. But it's one of my favourite places to go because once you park up at the church, it's not far to walk along and you follow just a path right up at the top, following a wall. The other waterfall starts with W, Whit, is it? Man. There's some days my brain, it just doesn't fire on all four cylinders, and I find it difficult to remember names. I've done loads of videos on it, all 3 or 4 waterfalls that you see when you go along there. Right, so you can see where you meet the wall, then you have to go uphill a little bit more. Then it bends out the left and starts going flat. So you can get your breath again once you get alongside the wall at the top. Once again though, because you're so high up here, look at the views you get looking back down at the ruins and that, the slag heaps. That car, it's coming along the road, and there he goes, he's just starting to drive away. Again now, it's a farmer's Land Rover. It's just driving along the top road. So he's driving along, he'd go off to the left, going up, and then he'd go around an S-bend where that tree is. Right. So, I was talking about microwaves, man. That's what I lost my train of thought. I've been messing about with microwaves, which I know naught about, where I've watched hundreds of videos recently to see if I can find what's wrong with this microwave that I got for £26. It says microwave in good working condition, except when you go to push the start button, nothing happens. So it's practically brand new inside, it just needs a clean. But I'm trying to find out the reason why nothing starts up when I push the start button on this Samsung MC28A 5125 UK EU model, black. So after watching many videos on the subject, it's down to possibly three things. Well, because it powers up and the clock comes on, and I can adjust the clock and all that and touch some of the buttons, some of them work, but the bottom one doesn't where you press start. It's down to the micro switches to do with the door. When you close the door and the little hooks go down and press the little buttons on the micro switches, which opens and closes the circuits. So the circuits are not getting opened, it's not going to power up the microwave plate turning or the magnetron, which sends off the microwaves. But the fact that it's powering up means that the fuses are okay and the transformer. So I'm betting it's down to one of two things. One of the micro switches in the door trip is burnt out, not working properly. It's not opening or closing like it should, and so not allowing the circuitry to go around. Or it's the actual control board on the front where you push the buttons, not making right contact. So there's a little skinny ribbon that goes into the motherboard, the PCB. You pull that out and clean the ends and you push it back in and lock it in. I've tried all that, still not. So it could be down to a faulty motherboard, PCB board, where the ribbon plugs into. So I've bought some door micro switches to swap them out and try. And if all else fails, I've got another one coming, the same model, which is brand new, and it's only got like a couple of scratches on the side on the outer casing. So I can pinch parts off a working machine, put them into the working microwave, and if it starts up, I found the problem, then I can just get the other parts from somewhere else and put them in, and I'll have another fully working machine. But trying to find somebody who does working on microwaves has been a pain in the ass. But finally I found somebody that's in Durham, where I've drove past the area where they are today, coming here off the A688 Newton Aycliffe. That's where they're based at, and the guy's been working on electrical things like washing machines, hoovers, you know, like domestic appliances for 20 odd years, 30 odd years, I'm sure he said, in the Callum Richard. So I'm going to get him to call at the house and have a look to see if he can take parts off a work machine and swap them out with a knackered one and see if we can get it running. So all I need to do is actually find out why it's not working when I touch the start button, and what component's gone to prevent it from powering up and turning the fan on and the microwaves. The light comes on when you open the door and close the door, so the top primary micro switch is okay. In other words, it's pushing the button and releasing the button, and the light's coming on and going off when I open and shut the door. So it's obviously either the middle switch or the bottom switch, which it's the secondary switch, or the bottom one, which is the sensing switch, where it senses the door being open or closed to open up the circuitry. Or, like I say, it's just not getting the right instructions from the main motherboard on the front panel, behind the front panel. So I can just unscrew it, replace another one in where I haven't got to do any soldering, just replace the part and put the little plugs back in. Let's see if it comes on. I'm fascinated by things like that. I love to try and fix things and I hate to be beaten, so I've tried a few things that I've been getting information off the YouTube videos of what the possibilities are when they do start to go wrong. Like one of them says, take your ribbon out if you get the SE error, which is the door error on your microwave, and he pulls out the micro ribbon out the motherboard after pulling the locking bracket down, pulls it out. You clean it with a rubber on the end of a pencil or a pencil rubber, get all the shite off it, and push it back in, and then push the locking clips back down so it stays in tightly. And most of the time that works, but unfortunately not for me. The other thing is somebody takes off the motherboard from the front panel, takes it out altogether, gets a toothbrush, puts some thinners in the cap, gets an old toothbrush and just brushes the whole soldered terminals on the back, and then puts it all back together after dabbing it dry with kitchen roll, put it in, and bang, Bob's your uncle, comes up. Other times, obviously, people that got more knowledge with using multimeters, it's just touch terminals to see if there's continuity and stuff like that, and then you can find out that way what's wrong with things, or if they're working or not working the way they should, or part working. Now normally when you come along here first thing in the morning, this field is absolutely covered with rabbits, covered in them. Just where this wall's collapsed and the fence is dropping a bit. You hear the bits of waterfalls that's running down there, right in the bottom, where the water's running along at its fastest, dropping over boulders. Right, so it's pretty much an even path from here to go to the ruins, the first ruins, and round past them. But when you get to here, you notice like there's bricks built into the side of the hill there. There's that Land Rover again. It's going back in the opposite direction. That was the noise I could hear, wasn't the water trickling over the boulders. It's him, like he's got metal inside, obviously he's rattling around when he's going over the rough track. Right. But if you look down there, you can see like loads of places where there's step downs where the water's running through and dropping down. That would be a lovely place to go and dip your feet in. So if I can get these microwaves to work after just messing around and getting a bit of help from somebody, a professional who deals with these kind of things all the time and got a better idea what might be going wrong, for $26.99 where I'm getting them for, I could do them up and sell them on for 100 and odd quid. Or buying like fuses or micro switches or whatever's wrong with it. And I went on eBay and I typed in the model number and said main PCB, and there's some new ones, but they're $85.90. Now if I can get a full microwave for say £70 odd that's working, I'd rather get the full microwave and take the motherboard out of that. So it's only costing us 20 odd quid instead of 85, 90. And obviously if it's a working machine, the PCB will be okay. If I were to try this knackered model I've got, that's on my bench at the moment. The combination microwaves as well, 28 litre. It's a convection oven, microwave oven and a grill. So, oh, there's like one of them tree grabbers up there, mechanical digger. I don't know what they're doing. Now looking up there past that digger, you can see like a white chalk road coming down and bending around to the left. I think that's where you come over from Gunnerside Gill and then drops you down at the road and you start heading across on an angle to drop you down in the ruins further up. See the rabbit droppings all over the shop because it's a haven for rabbits along here, especially early hours in the morning when it's just coming to daylight. They're running about all over the shop. So if you came here camping and then you came back along here in the early hours of the morning, you'd see loads of wildlife. It's funny how certain places on these paths, there's always water, it never dries out. It's a constant stream running down through this soaking wet, swamped land and just filling up that puddle again and again and again. Right. So there's a stream comes all the way down that groove from where that mechanical digger is up there. And it comes down to meet the river where those step downs are, the flat rocks. Right, here's one of these first streams that you've got to cross over that comes down over the path. And like I say, when it's been pissing during the rain, these are lovely to look up because they come right from the top of the hill and the water gets faster and faster and faster and it goes over several step downs over the boulders, so it's lovely to film and take pictures of, especially after a heavy rainfall because the water's running dead fast. So this is where you bend down, scoop some cold water and rub it on your forehead when you're red hot, sweating. Right, let's get on. So that's one, I think there's three altogether, streams coming down the hill. There's another one a little bit further along from this one, and then there's another one where you go around the corner and drop down on a bit of the Z path. I'm just looking over there where normally you can see the stream coming down between the trees. It's totally dry. You can see all the rocks where the water's been trickling down and over each brick. There must be like little waterfalls down there in between those two trees, one either side, because you can hear the water really fast and it's trickling down, making all that fast moving water sound. This is where you start to see all the tyre marks of the mountain bikers that come along here. Right, this is another place where this never dries out as well, because you've got all the water running down here and it's just constantly, you can hear it running underneath and then just coming out the path here. So once again, these are the places where I send corn down to get a drink, especially when it's red hot. Try to keep them hydrated as much as I could. So that's where it's coming down this groove here, but that's not the best one. The best one's further along. I'm just wondering what that mechanical digger's doing up there. Maybe digging troughs at the side of the road and the pathway to let all the water run away so it's not getting boggy and slippy. And when the snow comes and it's melting, obviously they get totally swamped and drowned in water and soft mud, so it's hard for the tyres to get a grip for going up and down the hills. So they dig ditches on either side so the water just runs in the ditches, keeping the road pretty much dry and easy access. As soon as I see that brick wall built into the side of the hill, wherever it is, it looks like the first word that comes into my mind is Aztecs. Right, here's another place where this water runs down and stays on the path all year round. Whoa. And when it's really bad, after heavy rains, there's no place to go and run the side like I am going to do now, because as you can see, there's boot marks in the mud where they've had to plod through it. It's quite deep as well.